Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are back here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete, and guess what? We have that one supercar that has super versatility. It's this car right here. This is a Ferarri GTC4 Lusso T. A lot to say, but you know what? We got twin turbo V8 power and all-wheel drive. But before we get into this Italian stallion, let's talk about what's going on here. Ferrari. They've been doing the business for decades. Obviously has always been about top-level performance, that seductive Italian style, and that lineage that goes back to when Enzo first started. Now, what's interesting is that Ferrari has had to change some of the ways that they do business. Even when Enzo was alive, there was a lot of changes that took place that he was very stubborn and did not want to have happen. And it would be interesting to see if he was still alive, what he would think of this particular Ferrari. But one thing that they're expanding is their lineup, especially when it comes to more usable vehicles. Now, we are on the eve of the release of Ferrari's first ever SUV. I can't believe I'm even saying that. But before we talk about that upcoming SUV, what about this car here? Off the heels of the Ferrari FF, this GTC4 Lusso T brings 4-seat usability. It's got a hatchback, so we do have cargo capability, and it has all-wheel drive, so you could drive this thing no matter what time of the year it is. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this Ferrari, find out, really, do you need a performance SUV? Or can you go with this supercar that's pretty close? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, the seductive style. Now on camera, this may look like gloss black, but it's actually a very dark metallic gray finish. Nicely kind of makes it a little bit more subdued, but if you're gonna be driving this every day, maybe that's a good thing. Now at the front of the business, you'll see that unique style to the headlight design that comes with a lot of the front engine Ferraris. Hold on one second, this bag is about to drive me nuts. Get out of here. It's blowing away the competition, just like it's blowing away this bag. But we're just gonna keep it rolling, I don't care. All right, so we got this big headlight style, full projector beam LED headlight, turn signals, the whole shabam, and this really is that unique style when it comes to a front engine Ferrari. Now on the lower portion, we do have that wire mesh finish. That's gonna allow you to have air flow through for the heat exchangers for brake cooling. And another thing that I like on this GTC4 Lusso T is gonna be how they took the splitter and just blended it very nicely into the front fascia. Now remember, this basically is the second generation of the Ferrari FF, but I love the way that they cleaned up the style, made the car a little bit wider, and really gave it that extra Ferrari mystique. Now, as we come across the front grille, of course, we're gonna have full functionality in this lower portion. You can see how the splitter in the center is actually a separate piece that attaches to the front fascia. We got the prancing horse, and of course, we got all that history wrapped up into one badge, the Ferrari logo. In the center, you'll notice a dip, U-shaped dip on the hood, but very clean style, nothing, like I said, too in your face. We get up onto that long, expansive hood, very clean design, very smooth features. As we come around the bend, what are we working? Wheel and tire setup. I absolutely love these 20-inch wheels. The satin flat gray finish really has a unique design all around. We got those marinara sauce, bright red, 6-piston calipers, and as you can see, we got obviously the Brembo carbon ceramic rotors, 2-piece magnetic ride suspension, everything fine-tuned, and we have, for the first time, besides the FF, of course, FF was first, this is the second time technically, but we have all-wheel drive. So that's something in Ferraris that was never seen. They've always been rear-wheel drive. Now, of course, it's rear-wheel drive biased, but it's gonna send power to those front wheels. Now, as we come down the side, this right here, I love how sexy this is. Carbon fiber, wire mesh. You can see Ferrari does it their own way with the side marker lights. And of course, we got the Scuderia shields. Remember, Scuderia means stable. Obviously, prancing horse, stable. That's the official badge of the Ferrari Grand Prix days for decades, and still is the official badge of the Ferrari F1 team that still races in Formula One. But this section of the car right here is worth every ounce of your attention because it's stunning. Now on the lower portion, you do get a flat black sill extension. Not the sexiest. I wish they made that carbon fiber with the carbon fiber gills. We do have color matched on the mirror caps. Super clean, no turn signals or anything like that. Built in, you do have a fixed panoramic glass roof, and you'll notice the rear spoiler, which I'll show you more, how it has that nice rise at the back. Here's another thing. Ferraris, they don't believe in doing flat door panels. You can hear one heck of a big monster truck car just went by. But we have these flat, normally these are flat with a button, like on a McLaren or a Lamborghini. These are actual door handles. Ferrari wants to keep things unique. Love the way the rear door, the front doors come into the rear fender, that nice flared fender look. And when we're looking at the rear tires, you're looking at 295 on the width. So you're gonna get more rubber to meet the road and better traction. Super sized quarter window, and I like the way there's nothing splitting it. So it looks like one big piece of glass. And then as we come to the back, this is all Ferrari. The lights, full LED, the wire mesh, both up top and down below. And we have that quad tip exhaust, sport exhaust. Wait until you hear the V8 in this thing rumble. And then of course, like I said, the one unique feature, the major unique feature is this hatchback, which I'll show you more about how that opens and how much cargo space it is. Let me know what you think so far. Do you think this is fugly or do you think it's sexy? Let me know in the comment section. You got the prancing horse just like up front. Love the way it's very visible, LED lighting built in, and then going all the way down, look at this. Ooh, we got this Ferrari Formula One style rear diffuser. Absolutely, this one, besides the side, this is one of my favorite parts on the car. It looks absolutely just menacing from the back. But why don't we go ahead, let's see what kind of power, before we get blown away, let's see what kind of power this thing makes and pop the hood of this horse. All right guys, we got that massive hood open. Underneath the hood, I love the way you got the chassis number plate front and center, just like my dad used to say when he would call me from my room if I was in trouble. You got the V8 logo there, and then look at that glorious powder coating red finish that's been done on that engine. We got dual throttle bodies, dual intake plenum, and of course we have a twin turbo V8. So you're looking at a 3.9 liter twin turbo V8, 602 horsepower, 561 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 7-speed DCT with all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, top speed 200 miles an hour, MPGs 15 in the city, 21 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 4,150 pounds. Now let's think about this. This car does 200 miles per hour. That means you're traveling the length of a football field every second in this Ferrari. That's 100 yards every second at 200 miles an hour. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear that prancing horse, what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2018 Ferrari GTC4 Lusso T. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've always wanted a Ferrari, but I have kids, and Ferraris with 2 seats are just not gonna work for me. I wanna share the experience with my kids. I also wanna drive it a little bit more, especially when the weather maybe isn't cars and coffee perfect. So how much is this GT4C Lusso T? Very good question. The way that this one is optioned, with 11,000 miles. Asking price is around $212,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Love all of that leather with the red contrast stitching. Pops nicely. You have 3 memory seat settings. Alcantara bright red on the grab handle. You got your speaker grill cover, and you have a nice door pocket for a large sausage and peppers Italian style. Going from the door panel to the dash, check it out. Love the way they did the AC vents with the carbon fiber. As a passenger, this one has the optional screen. You get to be a participant with the tach, throttle, gear indicator, speedometer, the whole 9 yards. There's our GTC4 Lusso T badging with the stitching. And then guess what? You come to the center stack. 10-inch infotainment system. You got your Ferrari badge, a vent for AC that opens and closes, working your way down, physical knobs. Gonna zonk it. It's on the cheaper side. I wish they would have done the knobs a little bit nicer. On this particular model, they took the push button for the 7-speed DCT and moved it over to the driver's side here. More of that Alcantara. Kind of weird. I really wouldn't option mine this way, but it is what it is. This is the best part. You get that Ferrari key. So much history. And then you want to open this up, bombs away. 2 cup holders. You're not going to eat or drink in my Ferrari. I don't care which one we're driving. I'm going to put that in there, close it up. You got your switch gear for your windows. Open this bad boy up. You have, of course, tons of room. You could put, I would say, 4 sets of family jewels in there, 2 USB-A's and a 12 volt. Close it up. Seats, the leather. It's got the embroidery with the prancing horse, the 2-tone. You have full electric seat, heated and cooled on the side there to get to that switch gear. Nice bolstering. And then the best part is that panoramic glass roof makes it nice and airy in here. The only zonk is that there's not a shade for it. And that to me is a bummer. I wish there was some kind of shade. But why don't you come over here? I'm not throwing shade. I'm spitting bars behind the wheel of this Ferrari. Come on over. All right, guys, here we are behind the wheel of this GTC4 Lusso T. It's a big mouthful, but I'm telling you, it's a Ferrari. So it's worth it. It's like eating a big plate of pasta with some meatballs. Check out these meatballs. The Ferrari name welcomes you every time. Nice aluminum sill. Pedal box is race car perfection. Nice aluminum dead pedal, brake, and throttle. One thing you'll notice, like I always like to point out on Ferraris, the pedals are a little bit over to the right. That's always been a Ferrari thing. And I love the aluminum kick panel here that stops you from ripping up the carpet as you're going on and off throttle. Seats, way more comfortable than probably any other Ferrari seat that I've sat in, but they still have good bolstering. You got the seat controls like we showed you on the passenger side. We got that 10.2-inch infotainment system that is very easy to get to, and then the steering wheel, the leather, the red stitching. You got all of your switch gear, the start-stop button. You can adjust the suspension, turn signals. Everything is on the steering wheel. And then look what we got. Carbon fiber, not metal, not plastic, carbon fiber paddles. And we have that nice large tachometer, 7,500 RPM. Really, really love the way that looks with the 2 screens flanking it. And then, of course, you got the LED Formula One lights at the top. But normally we don't say this in Ferraris. Let's go ahead and get into the back seat of this GTC4 Lusso T. All right, guys, back seat time in the Ferrari. I tell you, it's crazy to actually be sitting in a back seat where I don't feel all crunched up. There's actually more room back here than I have felt in some SUVs, some of the smaller SUVs. Now, you do have that glass roof. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not even close to that panoramic glass roof. You'll notice the seats have actual bolstering. I love the way they did them to mimic the seats up front. We got rear AC vents, more of that Alcantara. Open it up, 2 cup holders, and Alcantara to hold your sweaty drink in its place. And then we're gonna close that back up just like that. Love the leather, the stitching. And then you just lift this up. What do we got? We got 2 USB-A's, and you have enough room in here for, I would say, a 1-pound bag, maybe a half a pound of Skittles. That way you can see the rainbow and you can taste the rainbow. Pockets on the backs of the seats for extra nice large calzone. But I'm telling you, I love the way it kind of it snugs me back here. And then what's even better, let's say you get the munchies, right? You got that big old bag of cheese doodles in the back cargo area. Watch this. Lift up. Now I could get to the cheese doodles very easily and put it right back. But why don't we go ahead? This thing has a hatch. Let's pop the hatchback of this Ferrari and see how much room there is. All right, guys, the most interesting part of this Ferrari, of course, is that hatchback design. We hit the button, nice electric assist. You're actually gonna be greeted to 16 cubic feet of space. You can see how they had to stack it because of how the car is packaged, but still getting plenty of room in there. And that's what makes this a super special Ferrari, is that you could do the ultimate cannonball road trip in this thing to go from New York all the way to Las Vegas. But you know what? We're not going to Las Vegas or New York today. Where we're going is on throttle. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do it in this Ferrari. All right, guys, we left Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. We're in this Ferrari GTC4 Lusso T. It's a mouthful, but you know what? It's definitely bringing a mouthful of performance. If you're ready, I'm ready. Second gear, on throttle, here we go. Wow. I tell you right now, even though it's got that hatchback style design, this is definitely a Ferrari through and through, especially when it comes to that sound and the way the car makes you feel. Everything is super well laid out in here, probably more so than any other Ferrari for perfect daily driving. You got those massive carbon fiber paddles to go through the gearbox. But we gotta go on throttle again. Let's do second gear again. On throttle, here we go. Nice shifts. Brakes feel good. We got some wet pavement. I gotta go around. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There we go. On throttle. Really love the way when you shift, it's so precise. Very, very balanced front to rear. And that's another thing, is that front to rear, you're getting good feedback coming through that gorgeous Formula One inspired carbon fiber wheel. Definitely doesn't have 100% like all the exclusivity of a Ferrari necessarily. I still want a nice mid-engine Ferrari. That's really what checks off that box for me. But if you want 4-seat usability and that hatchback for your stuff, I mean, I don't know where else you could look. I guess technically this is the ultimate hot hatch because of that hatchback setup on this vehicle. But seats feel great. You got the leather, the Alcantara material everywhere. The best part is you got the sound. That's the best part. I think we need to go on throttle from a dead stop, don't you? Exactly. I knew you were thinking that. So we're in first gear. On throttle, here we go. Nice. That all-wheel drive gripping us really, really allows you to just be free with your on throttle and not have to worry about losing traction. That's really where that comes into play. And then of course, depending on where you live, having that all-wheel drive allows us to be that supercar you drive year round. You don't have to put it away during the winter or when it gets really, really rainy or something. But I love the sound. I mean, just everything about it. On those brakes. Good turn-in, look at this. Then you could just give it big heaping spoonfuls of on throttle. This Ferrari definitely loves it and loves to take it. Good visibility out the front. Out the back, of course, it's going to be a little on the tighter side just because of the shape of the rear glass and the rear seats. But out the front, the visibility is great. You feel like you're sitting a little high, but I think that's what they want you to feel, is a little bit higher up so you have that vantage point. But look at this, all the way around, this left-hand turn here, grips for days. Are you ready? On throttle. Yeah. Here we go. Nice downshifts. Woohoo! Look at that. Really just, the speedometer just goes and goes just like a fuel pump when you're pumping gas. And the good news is, I mean, you know, there's obviously thirstier cars out there than this GTC4 Lusso T. But it just, I don't know, it does feel really good to go on throttle in this car. Love the brakes. Pedal box is good. And then we got the sprinklers once again. I'm gonna wait for this truck to get by us and we're gonna go around. I guess today they're watering the concrete. They're trying to grow more grass out of the road. But you know, we have all-wheel drive. I mean, look at that. I just went right back on throttle with 4 wet tires. You're not gonna do that in a rear-wheel drive supercar. On throttle. Nice, look at this. Round and around and around we go. Yahoo! Super smooth. Very composed. And the best news is you can share it with 3 other people. It's not just about you. But the seats hold you in great. I love the 2-tone style. I still wish they had some kind of shade for that glass panoramic roof. But it's the roof that allows you to feel, when you're sitting in the back seat, a lot more comfortable. I mean, we could drive around for days in this. I can't ever get bored of going on throttle in this car. On throttle, here we go. So the way it sends power, because remember, it's a rear-wheel drive setup, but the way it sends power is so great to the front wheels, still allows the GTC4 Lusso T to be very playful. And I like that. On throttle. Look at this. Woo-hoo! Really freaking amazing, the experience. We need to get back to Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a Ferrari nanosecond. All right, guys. It's been one of those fun-filled Ferrari kind of days. How many times can you say that? It's been one of those Ferrari kind of days. I definitely want to thank everybody here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete, especially Miro and Jeff, for getting us access to this, say it with me, Ferrari GTC4 Lusso T. Let me know in the comment section, is this the way you would go, or are you gonna look for a performance SUV? I'm dying to know which way you would spend your hard-earned money in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. I'll come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radius Rides family. We got to give it up to Stephen Flood. Not only did we get to pop his cherry and give him his first ride in a Ferrari, but we now are two for two. More to come, Stephen. Show Stephen some love in that comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.